Yo, what's up guys? It's your Socks for 5 and 6, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Sonic movie 2. I did a video on this a little while back, but obviously we have more information, so I know people's thoughts and ideas have changed, and I sure do know mine have changed. So before I do that, you already know I have 3 things to say. First thing being, make sure you guys leave a like on today's video. Our like goal is going to be about 25 likes. Liking the video is really important. It gets the video out to more people, so make sure you guys do that for me. And if you are new to subscribe, we recently hit 200 subscribers, and now by sometime in March, we want to hit 300. And if you're new to the channel, my main thing here is doing plush videos. I'll probably put like the recent episode on screen or something. It's a very good series. It's a really deep series. It's not just a comedy series. Obviously there's going to be some funny points, but it's not just a comedy series, so come and check it out. Me and my co-writer put a ton of work into this, and even some of my mods did as well, finding me clips. It's a really good series. Just come check it out. Now with that being said, Sonic movie 2. I honestly think this movie will have so much hype building up to it. Like once the first trailer drops, I think it'll be like a very interesting ride to the movie. But I do have super high expectations for this movie, especially with quotes from Jeff Fowler being like, this is going to be more of a Sonic-y movie. So especially with bringing in Tails, Knuckles, and Dr. Robotnik coming back, or Jim Carrey coming back as Dr. Robotnik. This is shaping up to be an amazing movie, in my opinion. There was also some recent news that they were going to be taking some shots in Hawaii, so that's going to be very interesting. I'm super excited to see that overall. People were thinking it could be Angel Island, where Knuckles is, or something like that. Though I would think Angel Island would probably be an entire CGI scene or something. But overall, this is looking up to be very, very cool. And that in particular, just being in Hawaii, that's a really interesting place to pick. As you guys know, I did a video on this a little while back, not too long ago, because I just started my channel like, what, 3 months ago? But overall, I think that video was pretty good. But obviously, since we know more, like this one in particular, Knuckles being in the next movie, it's pretty much confirmed at this point. I also heard that he could be voiced by Playboy Carti. He's an interesting man himself, but I think overall as a voice actor, it could be pretty good. It's not confirmed, but I think it could be an interesting take on Knuckles. I'm also excited to see like Sonic and Tails' dynamic on how they meet. I don't think there's going to be a Sonic 2 story or retelling just in movie form. If anything, I'm going to assume this is going to be a Sonic 3 retelling, so they can go ahead and get Knuckles into the series and then like have room for like Chaos or Shadow in like the next movie, which will be pretty cool. Also, we got information about the code name or something about the movie in that way, shape, or form. I believe it's called Emerald Hill. I'll put a screenshot on screen. Now, I'm scrolling here on my script, and I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about, really. Oh, Jim Carrey. But I don't know how this works, but Jim Carrey puts butts in seats. That sounds so weird, but it makes sense because he's a popular dude for older folk. So, I mean, it makes sense overall, but I just feel like even if they got rid of him just because they were done with Eggman's story, I feel like it would have messed up really badly, because I mean they would have to force a whole nother villain or a whole nother being into it, like Shadow, Chaos, or even those lizard concepts I believe there were before. So without further ado, we can finally get into your guys' submissions. And now from here on out, if you want to get into like these types of videos, I will no longer be taking submissions from my Instagram or Twitter, just because it's just so much easier to go back and find screenshots from my Discord. So if you want to join my Discord, the link will be in the description. That's how you can get into these types of videos. The first one comes from a guy named Footy Fan. He says, Eggman will get destroyed because Sonic and Knuckles and Tails and Shadow and Silver are all too OP. Okay, let me start here. We aren't getting Shadow and Silver. Unless they're going to be cameos at the end of the movie, they're not going to be dominating anyone. Why? Because they won't be in the movie. Sorry. The next one comes from a guy named Tails the Fox Games and Plushes. He basically says this. I had to summarize this one. He says that Knuckles will be like the villain in a sense, because Eggman will try to tell him lies and trick him, saying stuff like Sonic wanted to steal the Master Emerald, and he's basically trying to protect him from it being stolen, even though it's Knuckles' job in a sense. He also says Sonic and Tails will have to fight Knuckles, and then he'll understand that Dr. Eggman had like new robots and was lying to him, and he just wanted to use the Master Emerald for his own good. And then Sonic will most likely become Super Sonic or something like that, and he says, I hope so. Here's hoping. So basically a retelling of Sonic 3. I am on that train as well. I think it'll basically be cutting back from Sonic and Tails having their own adventure, maybe with Tom and Maddie, something like that, even maybe Crazy Carl. And it'll be cutting back from that to Knuckles and Eggman and their side of the story. I think it's going to be a fun time, but I do think it will be kind of like a Sonic 3 in movie style. This next one comes from a guy named Jason the Peacock. He says that he basically thinks that this will be a Sonic Adventure Knuckles story remake. He just explains it in his own way, being that he'll be protecting the Master Mode. he's the last of his own kind, and he just hopes that Jeff Fowler and the crew do not mess up his design, which I don't think they will because they have their boy Tyson Hess. Now, out of all of them, I definitely don't want this one, just because I don't want Knuckles just to be there, just protecting the Master Emerald. I would want a flashback or something first. Maybe you have more to say. You shouldn't say it, but I would like more of a deeper story, kind of like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. The next one comes from a guy named Big Homie 51. He says, I think Knuckles will actually be tricked by Eggman. Oh, okay. This is Sonic and Knuckles again. Nothing wrong with that. I love to see the S3 and K love, but that just tells you a lot of fans really want to see that dynamic put into movie form. I personally just want to see it so it leaves more room for characters like Shadow, Silver. I don't think they'll do Silver, but I do think they'll do like Shadow, maybe Chaos. I'm not sure, but I just feel like it leaves the most room compared to like having Knuckles just guarding the Master Emerald, and he's just there just to be there, and having Eggman being the main villain and Knuckles just teaming up with Sonic just because. But overall, I really do like the submission, saying more like him beating the crap out of Sonic, basically. I think that's a very interesting point. I don't know if Knuckles would be like going around fighting Sonic or like trying to get rid of him for Eggman at like the middle or even the beginning of the movie. But I do think there's possibilities where he is like just doing the dirty work for Eggman, like you say. I really like this submission. The next one comes from Miles-25. He says, it's taking shot in Hawaii, right? Some fans have been thinking that could be Angel Island. I'm gonna be real, I was gonna do a video on that topic itself, but I could see it being Angel Island. I really think there's potential for it, but I'm not sure if it will be. I would think it would be like animated or just straight up CGI Angel Island. But maybe it's gonna be a mix with some editing, some cool FX and stuff like that. But I'm super hyped for it being, some parts being in Hawaii. And honestly, that already gives you Knuckles vibes. Knuckles is going to be in this movie. It's already been confirmed, but that really confirms it again. The next one comes from a guy named Gogi? I'm not sure. He says, what I think Knuckles' role might be in the Sonic movie is he probably is going to go after Sonic because Eggman manipulated him into thinking he's a bad guy, considering that's how it all started in the games. And Knuckles will basically go on and chase Sonic, then after realizing he was manipulated, they will go and team up to kill Dr. Eggman. Man, I was reading that, I felt uncomfortable. I know you were joking about Eggman's death, but man, give me the shivers, dude. But again, about that message or that submission, it's basically just Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Everyone wants to see it, and yes, I picked all these on purpose, just so you guys understand. Everyone wants Sonic 3 and Knuckles, so I think there should be, some different story elements, but I think it should be Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And no, not everyone wants it, but you get what I mean. And the final one comes from a guy named Marvel Former 2. I'm going to also summarize this one, but he believes this will be another hit movie. He's never heard of the Hawaii theory before, but he thinks it'll be an interesting element in the series. He also thinks that Sonic and Tails will have a little dynamic, and he'll also believe that Sonic and Knuckles will like have a rivalry at the beginning of the movie or in the movie in general. He'll also think there's going to be another time skip where you see like Sonic's caretaker, in this case Longclaw, and she'll have another part. So I'm going along the lines to assume that you think that she's dead, which there's a possibility for that as well. I'm not sure if she's going to be dead or she's going to be like the caregiver of Tails, as many fans have speculated. So that's also a very interesting point, and I'm super excited to see what happens. These are all very, very interesting. Now, overall, I do expect the Sonic movie to be a hit movie. I expect it to be much better than the first movie, and I expect like casual Sonic fans or just like hardcore Sonic fans that didn't really enjoy the first one because it was missing so many Sonic elements to really, really, really enjoy this one, because I expect Jeff Fowler to knock it out the park. I expect Patrick Casey, and I forget the other writer's name, I gotta get his name down, to knock it out the park with the writing. Shout out to all the like animators that will be animating this movie, because obviously some people speculated that they'd be on a time crunch last time, so hopefully they'll get the entire full span and they'll have all this time and all this like preparation to do the animation. Ooh, and remember, they start filming for the movie in 2 months in March. Thank you to everyone who submitted. I'm really, really blessed to have you guys submitting, because if you guys didn't submit, obviously I would not have a video. And shout out to FP Playthroughs for letting me use their footage of gameplay. I was too lazy to record some, don't kill me. But yeah, guys, stay tuned to the channel. I love you guys. Wear your socks. Peace.